On this die, you can see in the proximal surface that we have retention grooves. When I make my dip wax coping, I'm going to come back with a hot spatula and make sure that my dipping wax is well adapted to the retention groove. This die also has a deep chamfer, so I'm going to show you how I handle the coping to make certain that it's absolutely adapted to the chamfer and the margin. When we dip dies that have deep chamfers or proximal retention grooves, sometimes a small pocket of air is trapped at the inner angle of the shoulder and at the bottom of the retention grooves when the dip coping is formed. I'm going to adapt the dip wax coping at the margin. I'm using a half Hollenbach instrument in my Ultra Waxer 2, and I've set my temperature at approximately 350 degrees Fahrenheit. With this small instrument and this temperature setting, I can just touch the surface of the dip coping and melt it. It becomes transparent. So I'm looking for any voids that may have occurred at the internal angle. When the wax is liquefied, you can see right through it, and if you see any voids, just penetrate the coping until they're melted away. And as the wax cools, just a little touch with your finger, hold the wax against the surface of the die while it finally solidifies. And here I am in the inner proximal, and I have a retention groove on both sides. So just lightly melt the surface of the wax so you can see the configuration of the groove. And as I did that, you saw a little bubble come to the surface. Now I know that groove is positively adapted with dipping wax. A little pressure, hold it against the die, and it's complete. And here's the one on the other proximal. Lightly melt the surface of the wax so that you can completely see. Oh, did you see that little bubble? I'm going to go pop that little bubble. And now, oh, I still don't have it, do I, gang? Let's make sure we get it. There, it's gone. Press. And done. Now, sometimes when you form that, you lose the contour of the dip coping. So, not a problem. Pick up a droplet of dipping wax on your spatula and add it to the area to restore a smooth contour, the outer surface of the coping. And on the facial, if you need a small fill-in, again with the dipping wax, flow to a smooth surface. Notice how it now follows the contour of the shoulder. Not bulky at the margin, well within the proper emergence profile. Remember that the spatula temperature controls the flow of the wax, and having the spatula set at the ideal temperature gives you complete control. So be sure and test to find the temperatures that you need.